My name is Detective Adamson. It's Adamson. I'm the Public Information Officer with the City of Fort Lauderdale Police Department. We're here today to provide an update related to two incidents that occurred in our city yesterday. The first of which occurred at 3054 North Ocean Boulevard and was a double homicide. The second occurred at 2613 Center Avenue and was an aggravated battery that ultimately led to a police pursuit. Late last night, detectives were able to arrest and charge Mr. Daniel Dovey related to the police pursuit. We do understand that the incidents occurred in very close proximity to one another, and we have been able to conclude that the two incidents may be related. Mr. Dovey is considered a person of interest at this point in the double homicide. Some of the items that are contributing to us concluding that he is a person of interest include multiple edged weapons and clothes that appear to be freshly washed inside of his vehicle. The area where the double homicide occurred is a highly secluded area. There are no similar patterns or other incidents that lead us to believe that the public is at risk right now. Right now, we're encouraging residents and business owners to review their video footage from that night to see if they have anything that could help us or anything that they find to be suspicious. We're asking that if they do discover anything that they think might be suspicious or video or know any information that might help us, to contact our detectives. Right now, we have to keep in mind that Mr. Dovey may not be our suspect, which is why this video and the information that the public would provide is so important. We have to remind the public about our investigative process, such as DNA evidence, and that sometimes it can take time to process that evidence. We acknowledge that these deaths are tragic. We are hopeful that somebody can provide light in helping us confirm or deny Mr. Dovey's involvement in this case. The numbers to contact for video, or if you have information that you believe may be helpful, are Detective Wood, and he can be reached at 954-828-5344. This number is different than the last one, so I'm going to repeat it. It's 954-828-5344, and it's Detective Wood.
Was Mr. Dovey traveling alone, and are the two victims in the homicide, the double homicide, did they live in the area or are they from out of state?
We cannot confirm any information about the victims at this time because next of kin notification is still pending, so we're not able to discuss that as of yet. Mr. Dovey was alone at the time he was taken into custody during the police pursuit.
Do you think he's traveling alone, or do you think they were living alone?
The investigation is still ongoing, and we don't have that information right now.
Does it appear to be random, or do you think that you knew these people, or was it a random instance?
We can't confirm. We haven't been able to, obviously get through all the details related to the case. We're still going through the process, and like I said, it takes time. So none of those ideas are off the table, and they're all things that we are, trying to determine and conclude ourselves.
Can you explain why the weapons that you found and the homicides?
So these weapons were seen in the car, and the investigative process takes time and has multiple different facets and things that, we have to, sometimes get a judge's approval before we can do certain things. So those things and processing DNA, it takes time. So we cannot 100% say, which is why we're calling Mr. Dovey a person of interest right now. We are concluding that based off of the close proximity in conjunction with the items that were found.
We were told that those weapons were 2 hunting knives and a fully loaded gun. Is that correct? And if so, are those being processed?
I was informed that there were multiple edged weapons that were inside of the vehicle, and that's all I can confirm at this time.
Is it fair to say that Mr. Dovey is cooperating?
Mr. Dovey, was interviewed in reference to both of these incidents, as is common for any person that we, have in our custody. We give them the opportunity to be interviewed. And Mr. Dovey, he did speak with our detectives, but at this time, we are not able to conclude and charge him for the double homicides, which is why we're asking for the public's help, because we have an obligation to confirm or deny his involvement in this case, and we need the public's help to include any available video evidence or any witness information to be able to follow that investigative process.
Does it appear that the shirts that were washed had blood on them, or that was washed? Is there any trace of blood
They're still working to process all of the evidence involved in this case, so that is a possibility, but we cannot confirm any of that at this time because the process is still playing out.
How long will the DNA test? How long will it take? Is it a week or is it?
Unfortunately, I can't provide a hard deadline on what that would be. It can take up to a few weeks for all of that to be processed. It's not something that happens overnight. It's not something that we can have done in an hour.
Are you saying that there was no firearm, or that you can't say that there was a firearm?
I'm saying that we recovered multiple edged weapons.
Edged weapons?
Yes.
And names again of the victims, you're not releasing the names?
We are not releasing the names of the victims at this time because next of kin notification is still pending.
Do you know who they are, though? Do you know who they are?
Yes.
And we were told that it was a gruesome murder where they stabbed many times. We know that one of the victims lost an arm. Is there anything that you can say about that?
Not at this time.
On the arrest form, I just want to clear something up. It says at large when it comes to his residence, his place of address. Was he wanted out of state? Any indication of that? Just haven't been able to narrow down.
We haven't been able to determine that, but I mean he is from out of state, but we don't know the specifics of that right now.
What he was doing here?
One more time.
You don't know what he was doing here, essentially?
I don't know.
Does his brother have any connection to the Xavier City or City out of state as well?
I only heard does his brother.
His brother testified today. Is there any connection locally with him?
I have no knowledge of his brother or of what he testified to.
It is what it is. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
I have a question from another story. There's reports that the Department of Homeland Security has warned police departments and in some other cities, information of police officers have been hacked, maybe stolen for bad use. Have you heard about that report? And how do you address that?
I can only talk about this incident right now. I don't have information on that. Thank you.